Welcome back. In our spotlight this morning, the ex-husband of Ruby Franke, the former parenting YouTube star who's now in prison for abusing her children. Kevin Franke suing his ex-wife's partner in crime and their therapist, Jodi Hildebrandt. He's suing her for medical malpractice and he wants a jury trial. Hildebrandt's also doing time, like her buddy Ruby Franke, for abusing Franke's children. In 2023, the Franke's 12-year-old son, you'll remember this, escaped Hildebrandt's home, ran to a neighbor's house. Thank goodness he did, to get some help.
Has he told you where his mom or dad are?
I haven't asked him that. Yeah. You know where your mom is?
I really got you.
Yeah, I'm sure that doesn't matter, son. Do you know where your mom and dad are?
Well, actually, I don't know where my mom is, but I do know where my dad is. He's not anywhere here.
These poor children. Can you imagine? I mean, the abuse was quite severe. Quite severe. Starvation, lots of injuries to these children. It was clear they were bound like prisoners living in a home. Now, both of these women, these two best friends and former business partners, pleaded guilty to child abuse charges, both of them serving up to 30 years in prison for their crimes. Now, Kevin Franke has custody of his 4 minor children while his ex-wife is doing her sentence. So why this lawsuit and why now? He's claiming that there was negligence in the way Jodi Hildebrandt treated him. And so he's looking to recover something for her negligence in practice. Okay, let's talk about this. Let's bring in psychotherapist Dr. Janie Lacy and attorney Tommy Pope. Great to have you both on this. Okay, so Dr. Janie, Kevin Franke says that Hildebrandt used her status as a mental health professional to try to manipulate him and isolate him from his family. What are your thoughts on that, please?
My thoughts, Julie, in reviewing the case was he has a case. You know, first I noticed that she was representing herself as a psychologist, but in her state she was actually licensed as a clinical mental health counselor. So to me, this was probably her using exaggerated credentials to gain trust. And then also looking at how she diagnosed and treated him, a lot of it had no basis in what I was reading because there was no formal testing of Kevin. And then also, you know, I think that the biggest one, right, being a state of Florida supervisor, the biggest one that can take license away is a breach of confidentiality, which I also believe applied in this case.
Appreciate that, Dr. Janie. Thank you. So you believe there sounds like there's grounds here. I'm wondering, Tommy, about the money side. Is there even anything to get from this lady who's now locked up? You do civil practice work, so would love to tap into your thoughts on that. Do you think there is any recovery here?
Julie, that's always the issue, and I'd read, you know, that this is often the case. They file these suits in Utah, but I'm not sure that there will be assets. You know, got a lot of times people, if it's a slow roll that they're going to prison, they divest themselves of the assets. If they've already admitted to committing crimes, hiding assets is not that big on the list of crimes comparatively. And so I don't know if it's more maybe for his healing or getting out, I always used to say if a client said it's the principle of the matter, then invariably you're not going to be successful financially. It's going to take you down this hole. And it's hard sometimes for folks to let go of it. So it may be that his attorney sees an avenue, or it may be that the client wants to push it to kind of vindicate himself in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Tommy, thank you for that. So in the lawsuit, it claims that Kevin Franke was estranged from his family when the child abuse occurred. You know, a lot of people feel some kind of way about him. He is the children's father. He was not charged. There were a lot of questions as to why not, where was he? Apparently he was estranged, and let's listen to what he told police after he learned that his son fled from Jodi Hildebrandt's home.
They're not at your home in Springville. And I'm not trying to trip you up. I can see you're hesitant to talk to me. I understand that.
Well, where I live, no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for over a year. Like I said, I don't, nothing is going on in their lives or anything going on. We've communicated maybe 4 times in 2023 since January.
So are you aware of how she disciplines the kids or how she handles the kids with behavioral issues or anything like that?
No.
Hadn't seen the kids in over a year. Over a year. I remember when this case was brewing and as we were going through the process eventually to that plea, and I'm thinking, this guy, I think he's very fortunate that he was not charged, but that's another conversation for another day here. They're his kids, didn't see him for over a year. They're in the Hildebrandt house. Dr. Janie, what I keep thinking about is I hope he does recover money from Jodi Hildebrandt so that he can use it for therapy for those kids. Dr. Janie, how much treatment do you think these children are going to need after they went through those horrific experiences?
Well, the kids are going to need a lot of expert and someone that is really trained in not only religious cults, but childhood abuse, right? That's really trained in trauma treatment and really having a good support system. So we look at it in twofold, having a good support system in their family system, and then having a good therapeutic team parallel with the family that's also working in conjunction with them. And over time, these children can find healing and find reparative work where they can go on and live normal lives and very successful lives. But this foundational, especially these first couple of years, is going to be important. And that therapeutic team, along with having a sound, healthy support system in their family, is going to be key, Julie, for these kids.
Oh, Dr. Janie, that's really helpful. Interesting how you shared how it's going to be really nuanced. Someone with a good understanding of cults and then extreme religious beliefs and the trauma that these kids have been through to be able to help them understand and navigate what went on is it's going to be quite a task. Our hearts go out to them. The judge was very clear when the judge chastised Jodi Hildebrandt in court, especially because she was a mental health professional, especially because of her training, her experience, and her hand in all of this abuse. Let's watch.
Your conduct in this case was disastrous for these children. Adults are supposed to protect children. Adults with specialized training in particular are supposed to protect children. You didn't do that in this case. In this case, you terrorized children, and the results have been tragic.
Yeah, the judge is absolutely right. Tommy Pope, last word to you here, please, in terms of any thoughts on justice here. Was it done, in your view, with Jodi Hildebrandt, Ruby, Franke, in your thoughts on where, if anywhere, you think this suit's going to go now with Kevin and Jodi?
Well, I think, the most egregious thing I see is how the Hildebrandt was using it, his confidences, his treatment to basically drive a wedge in that family, to give her the opportunity to spend time with the wife, to spend time doing the things she wanted to do. And so it's almost like when a police officer uses his uniform to commit a crime. I think she basically used her perceived authority to destroy this family, to torture those kids, to ruin this man's life, regardless of what he could have done different. If you look at domestic situations, divorce situations, when the court or somebody tells you to stay away, and you get called to court every time you don't, he was in a difficult position. And we're in the outside looking in, but I think really she was the worst of the worst at using her ability to help people to manipulate it to her own ends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. Just evil conduct. They are in prison where they belong. Big thanks to you both for the great conversation. Dr. Janie Lacy, I know we have to let you go. Thank you for lending us your expertise. We'll see you soon.